Good evening, I'm Jill Valley.
And I'm Dennis Bragg. A former Miles City athletic trainer accused of sex crimes involving dozens of underage boys pleads guilty to federal charges today.
Jensen admits there were 100 victims coerced through the internet to take part in what he calls the program, making young boys believe sex acts would make them better athletes. Kent Lutzen was in the courtroom today and brings us the latest.
That's right. Former Miles City athletic trainer James Jensen appeared in federal court on Tuesday in Missoula, where Judge Dana Christensen accepted his guilty plea of using the internet to coerce and entice underage boys for sex. On Tuesday, James Jensen, 79 years old, wearing an orange jumpsuit, was pushed into the courtroom using a wheelchair. This is where he pled guilty to using the internet to develop a so-called program, a system he used to coerce 100 young male athletes into sexual acts. Jensen made them believe it would increase their physical performance. Jensen says he received all these teachings from the internet. In the early part of Tuesday's hearing, Judge Dana Christensen spent a majority of the time going over Jensen's mental capacity, his understanding of the plea change from not guilty to guilty, making sure Jensen was aware of what was happening and the charge against him. Later, the defense picked apart the prosecution's criminal complaint. Jensen admitted to one case of oral sex, but denied digital penetration. Jensen added he has no recollection of phone calls with young boys about the program, but did keep some sort of logbook. He also says he doesn't remember inappropriate hernia checks on young wrestlers in Watford City, North Dakota. Yet one sexual abuse survivor recalls that interaction. However, Jensen does admit to doing hernia checks in Miles City. Despite the objections, both the prosecutors and the defense agreed there was enough evidence to move forward with the guilty plea. Prosecutors did add internet searches on Jensen's computer were consistent with an interest in children. The potential sentence for this charge is a maximum 15 years in prison, up to 3 years, supervised release, and a $250,000 fine. Now, a pre-sentencing investigation will be underway. Jensen will be sentenced on July 30th of this year in Billings. Reporting in front of the federal building in Missoula, I'm Kent Lutzen with MTN News.
Jensen, of course, as you saw in that video there from his earlier court appearance, faces multiple other charges. His legal troubles began last fall when a group of 31 sexual assault survivors filed a civil suit. Jensen also faces state criminal charges after a worker told authorities she saw child porn in his Miles City home. No court date has been set for that hearing.